Wait, should we talk about Bobby Lee?
His shirt was covered in blood, his socks.
That'd be such a terrifying thing to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and Bobby's just sitting there bleeding. There was an accident.
Is this my grudge?
Fully Loaded is coming your way this summer, the biggest party of the summer with the best comedians in the world. Canton, Ohio, Columbia, Maryland, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Darien Center, New York, Rogers, Arkansas, Camdenton, Missouri, Brandon, Mississippi, and Orange Beach, Alabama. I'll throw the party. All you got to do is show up. You not like being
we're gonna share
sitting
mics
monkey?
with
Do you like sit in the middle?
No, I'm really gonna think about what I want to say.
Yes. Do you feel like it's too much? But now both of our mics can get to you.
Like this, so I bring it towards me.
Yeah, you gotta talk in both ways.
You know, just raise your hand when you want to talk.
Guys, I know I just do this. I go, question?
Are we on already?
Yeah, we're on.
Oh,
I put the mic in the middle of this field. We're
This
gonna do this is like Lady and the Tramp. We're gonna start kissing.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna headbutt. We have another Bobby Lee happening.
Do a smooch.
I'm gonna hold it. I'm in the middle hold it.
Kyle, do you know Jelly Roll?
No.
Oh, God.
I don't know
He is
anybody.
fucking awesome.
That's where they're like Jelly Roll. I'm like, was he like a Kill Tony guy? I don't know.
No.
I'm just out of the loop. That's on him. That's on me. I
He
don't
has
know.
the number one song in the world right now. And then,
I look like I would know.
but I'm going to tell you, but he also is a guy that you don't get that from him, so you wouldn't know it even when you met him, because he's.
Oh,
not
I'm
like,
sure he's cool. I'm saying like I'm so out of the loop on everything.
Oh, we know
always.
you're not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, could have said it nicer.
There was a comment left on someone's YouTube or Leanne's YouTube, and it said, "This festival's amazing. I don't normally like when comics bring out a guitar, but Bert and Leanne sing a duet that was really cool. And apparently they have this one comic who must be new to it. I think his name's Peanut Butter and Jelly, and he just sang. And I think he should just sing. I don't think he should do comedy."
Those lyrics weren't funny at all.
Yeah.
I only talk to God when I need a favor. Premise, okay.
Wait, Kyle, you're a real guitarist. You can play guitar, right?
No.
Yes, you can. You played the national anthem.
I can fuck off on guitar.
No, dude, bring it out.
You want
this
to hear
thing-
that?
Oh,
this show needs one more thing. It's another
Is there
fucking
more
guitar.
Another
Is there
guitar.
more guitar players? I'm your guy.
This has become 70%
You need
concert,
to- you need to
30%
hear
comedy
the first
show.
5 chords of any song that I knew when I was 14. I am
hell
your
yeah.
guy.
Oh, I think you mean a medley.
I appreciate that. You want the first few chords of Peaceful Easy Feeling? I could do it for you. But don't go to the chorus.
E A minor, E A minor, E A minor.
What?
I just know the finger part. I don't know what those letters
Finger
are.
part. I don't know what it is about playing guitar on stage. You cut through all the charisma that Chappelle walks on with on stage. You get when you walk out with a guitar, they're like, "Oh, this is gonna be good."
But also, I should tell you, watching you and Chris Porter get guitar face every time you guys play it is very fun. Watching you guys get a moment where you're like,
Oh, you get the pre-cum face?
Oh, that's good.
By the way, every comic thinks the opposite when a comic walks out with a guitar. We're like, this is not going to be good.
Yeah,
And the audience loves it.
Do they? Yeah, I guess they do lose their minds. Probably, I guess so.
That would be nice in
But
the
yeah-
green room when it's a guitar comic.
Oh.
You can play.
Dude, Bert,
You checked bags for your set. Cool.
you and Porter both have it different though. You're a head up. Like, I think this is happening. You're really drinking it all in, and Porter's definitely does like the pursed lip.
Yeah.
He gets in it.
Porter leans into it.
Yeah,
I was talking about sitting backstage with the comics.
interview, and I'm not answering the question.
I was in London getting ready to do the Comedy Store, and there was a dude getting ready to do his set, and his name's Boy with tape on his face. You ever seen him?
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just tape face.
Dude, are you kidding? He beat me on America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Are you
In
serious?
like 2015. He's fucking amazing.
He's fucking incredible.
Dude, he's incredible. It's like Chaplin-esque. It's phenomenal.
He does.
I'm a big
crowd work.
AGT guy. He's pretty good.
Really?
I've also heard the opera singing clown is a very good show. Puddles, yeah. Puddles the Clown. I heard it's a pretty awesome show.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a whole world of like international festival comedians that people don't know about. And then
There's a dude who caught cabbage on his head with a spike, And it was like he'd have audience members come up and throw cabbage at him.
One of my earliest gigs was opening for a guy who would do that while he was on a unicycle. And I was like, man, one day I might make unicycle money. And I would have to help him load like a 6-foot unicycle into his minivan. And he used to have a fork in his mouth and he'd have the audience throw potatoes at it. And one time they chucked it and it broke his nose. And so he's bleeding and we're loading his unicycle. These fucking assholes don't know what good show is when I'm bringing it to them. like, man, comedy might not be a good choice.
Do you guys remember? I remember the big thing at NACA conventions was everyone go up. I went to one APCO one ever, got no bookings, but the thing at NACA ones were always dominated by Marty Putz. Do you remember Marty Putz? No, he would be on like
It's an inspiring name to put your career in his hands.
It sounds like a Jewish slur.
Have you ever worked with Stephen Dickface?
You got to watch some Marty Putz at some point. It's we'll show it to you tonight, Bert. Some Putz.
Oh my God.
Marty, again, it's those things that you go and like people are up there doing stand up and jokes. They were trying to get this thing. And Marty Putz was like, half comic, but his big thing was he had a marshmallow gun that he would come out and just shoot the audience. And it was just like, they couldn't book him fast enough.
If he got to this level where he was doing like amphitheaters and stuff, he would just have a person he yells at about marshmallows. He's like, where's my mellow guy?
There's a guy that was comic or college comic of the year on like the NACA magazine, Butch something, I think. And I went up, he was working a club and I opened for him, ate shit so hard, with the jokes that you craft and you think they're going to be good. He goes up, doesn't do great, but at the end they turn all the lights off and he puts 2 pen lights up his nose and he does the and he does that with the pen lights lighting up his nostrils and this place goes fucking bananas. And that's the day I was pretty close to quitting comedy.
I had a club owner go, you got to see this guy's closer. It's like nothing I've ever seen. And he was already English and he just did Austin Powers. He didn't even do an accent. He just took his clothes off and had like the, what's the British flag, the Union Jack underpants and just kept saying, do it make you horny?
You got to see his clothes.
Club owner's like, I'm still scared to talk about him. Yeah. Like he's not like Comedy Cafe in Milwaukee.
Oh yeah,
the guy
JD.
That's a rough one.
Oh no! I think he's passed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I got a good JD story. I got a good JD story.
Gun on the table where you get paid for your weekend.
Yeah.
And he's the guy. So for context, big Samoan guy with alleged ties to like biker gangs with a pompadour. And he's like, best closer I've ever seen. And then this guy's, do it make you horny? And he's loving him. Like, how did you get into comedy, my man?
Did you
JD, hold on, I gotta tell this story. This is like an epic fucking weekend. We used to do the Jameson comedy tour and he loved Billy Gardell. But when we did the tour, I closed because I take my shirt off. And Billy's like, I'm not following that shit. And so JD said, no, you close. I'm not letting this kid take his shirt off close. He's not fucking funny. I don't even think he should be on the show. I'm going to cut him down to 5 minutes. And so Billy's like, just JD, give him a chance. So I do the first show. I get done. JD's sitting on the balcony, on the outside smoking area. And he's like, bring him out here. So I go out there and he goes, your dad represented the Outlaws? Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah. And he goes, Kreischer? I said, yeah. He goes, I remember when you were a little kid, your dad represented us. And I went, and it was the one biker gang my dad ever represented. And he got them off on some, and he was like, you're the little kid that came in. And I was like, oh my God, you're one of those biker guys I met? And he was like, you're funny. And I was like, fuck yes. So at the end of the week, made a bet. I said I can make the audience more tips. If I close, I can make them more tips than they'd ever made throughout the whole weekend. And I said, if I do, all of you have to, this is before me too. I was like, oh, you have to get naked and take a picture with me. But if I lose, I'll get naked and you get to take a picture with me. So, we didn't think anyone was going to do it, right? So they all count their tips. And they did, but they went to JD and he goes, no. Say you didn't. Make him get naked. So they get up and they're like, Bert, time to take a picture. I was like, we're just joking around. And then the whole biker gang's like, take your fucking clothes off. And I was like, sure thing, mister. And I took a picture naked on stage.
He was like the Godfather. I was there for the Harley Davidson 100th anniversary, and there's a Harley Davidson plant, right? It's right outside Milwaukee. And so I was supposed to go there for morning radio, and I'm getting drunk the night before, And the manager's like, hey man, be cool. And I go, I've never missed radio in my life. Well, precursor to waking up at about 11 with 1,000 messages. Didn't get up. So I have to walk over. The condo used to be, you could see the club from the condo. Remember that? It was kitty corner. And I walked over there and JD's outside with his cane and there's 2 gigantic men in patched jackets. And so I walk over there and I just go, hey man, I apologize. I know I fucked it up. And he's like, Godfather-ish, just like, just so you know, you can't work this weekend. You're done. You can stay at the condo. You can have fun at the festivities, but you and I are done now. And I go, I just want to say sorry. And the one of the big guys stepped towards me. And I was like, well, here we go. And I just honestly shut my eyes and turned my head and gave him my temple. And then you heard the cane click twice. And the guy stepped back to where he was. And I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? It was so crazy.
He was legit an intimidating dude.
But also
he was
such a sweetheart.
Such a sweetheart. That guy was so... Dude, he was a nice guy. He just is he's an old school dude.
Have your ass kicked by bikers?
I mean,
Didn't he threaten you? Didn't he force you to get naked a second ago in this story?
Yeah, but I put him. It was a bet. A bet's a bet. A man says shooting is a bet.
He did give me $50 more because he switched me in the MC and the feature I was MCing. And when I was trying to fill out my paperwork, him and all the guys that worked there were listening to a voicemail, like just around the answering machine. And it's just some guy saying, okay, I got you. You've been very nice with the following. And he just says, it's just a guy going, listen, there's no reason to get out of hand. We're both just businessmen. This was a business transaction, and I don't see any reason to escalate this beyond that. And all these guys just cracking their knuckles, listening to a voicemail. Like, what should we do, boss? Like this is like Disney bad guys. Like, that's like gonna clobber him.
That's like a violence foreplay.
Yeah,
is listening to the one
and
of
I'm
those
trying to fill out what I'm gonna get paid, and he's like, $50 more a show. I'm like, oh, thanks so much.
You're such a good, what an angel. The guy's like, hey, listen, man, I got kids. Kids need a dad, man. You gotta fucking let me live. And he
that
goes,
was the legend that they killed a guy at that club.
what?
Right?
I didn't hear that.
I mean, I think it's probably stories that they took some guy out and beat the shit out of him and killed him.
Did you ever do you guys have stories of Craig Glazer? Like
I never did
Stanford
that. That's Kansas City.
Stanford and Sons is a guy. That's another. They're like 3 criminal brothers own the place. It was wild. That was a crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
He would pick you. He would pick you up.
problem.
He would pick you up in a Lotus to go do press, and he would have you do like 7 things, but it was all because he wanted to go on. He would sexually harass every woman en route to doing everything. Everyone hated it. It was volatile.
The last time I physically saw him in the flesh was before the Saturday Night Late Show, and he went, hey, I'm not going to stick around for your set. I got a slut at the bar, but I might see you tomorrow. And then he just walked out, and you're like, bye, Craig Glazer.
Bye forever, Craig Glazer.
You know who
You fucking weirdo.
You know what my favorite was remember Bobby Jewell at Tampa Side Splitters?
Yeah.
He was so fucking funny, man. He was just like the classic shit faced at the bar guy. And I remember I had this guy Raul Sanchez opening my shows, and he was killer. He's like a killer guy with like jokes about being in the fucking Marines or whatever, or something. He's in the army, something in Iraq. Saw action, crazy shit, and Bobby just keeps like, he's Mexican. He keeps saying shit like, "Hey Raul, which tribe are you in?" And he's like laughing to himself. I'm like, it's not even the right type of racism. And Raul says back, "Airborne infantry. What tribe are you in?" And Bobby just goes, "Well played." He'd take his L's, and I appreciated that. But Bobby was so fucking funny. Like I had Dina Hashem opening for me, and he cooks us dinner before the shows. He's like the sweetest guy. Sober Bobby was so sweet. He was like, when he was drunk, he picks you up shit faced in his car for the gig and blasting Jersey Boys. I'm like, this is how I'm gonna fucking die. But he does. He cooked us dinner. He cooked us steaks, all this stuff before the shows. And I was like, wow, what a sweet guy. And then he shows up at the club at like 11 p.m., pissed drunk, and he just gets close to me. He goes, "You piece of shit. I cooked you dinner." I'm like, "You offered. What am I supposed to say to this?"
Every single relationship with these owners just sounds like an abusive relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Where we go like, it's pretty, and then He made me sleep outside, but I deserved it.
Well, that guy, that Kansas City dude, would put me on the calendar, and I was never booked there. And I get people like, so happy you're coming to Kansas City. I'm like, when? And so twice it happened. Finally, I got his email. I'm like, hey, man, can you take me off your calendar? I'm not. He was like, your agent booked it. I'm like, that's not how this works. They ask me, and so he's like, fine, you'll never work here. I'm like, I'm fine with that. Yeah. He goes, you'll never see my, I have an email. I still have you'll never see our $1 million showroom. I'm like, who talks like this?
He's a lunatic. The last time, and I knew he was going to fuck me on money, it's that giveaway when the owner starts telling you stories of one time he had a hard time paying somebody and it's like they flipped out about it. His was TJ Miller always. He goes, I don't know, we were like best friends. And then like, you know, I was like, hey, can I give you a little bit of this money like in 2 weeks from now? And he just flipped out. It's like, I thought we were friends, TJ. You know, it's like I was going through a hard time for a second. Gee. And he just walks away like a non sequitur. And you're like, oh, I guess that means me too, huh?
I like the stories of where the money laundering isn't even hidden. Like I won't name the names. I don't want anybody to get in trouble, but like the chain of clubs in the South that you could probably figure it out where they like, you're getting paid $600. Here's a check for $1,000, cash it, mail us back the $400 in a week. And my buddy's like, I'll mail it back to you when I'm done using it. I'm a road comic. I'm going to need that extra $400 for a while.
Yeah, do me a solid.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? There was a club called Connections. I don't know if you guys remember these ones. This one was called, then a new one in Toledo. Toledo is always a fucking hell gig, no matter what it was. But it was called Laughs Inc., LAFFS Inc. And I'm there. And I'm like, all right, pretty rough weekend, but whatever. I get driven to the airport. My manager texts me and he goes, did you cash the check yet? I'm like, no, I'm at the airport. He's like, cash it immediately. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, the club's going under. I'm like, I closed the club. And then the guy, I didn't know it wasn't like known. So I texted the guy driving to the airport like, dude, I'm so sorry. And he goes, why? And I'm like, nothing. I'm like, I don't want to be the one to break this shit to him. You know?
It's always funny that comedy clubs like the Laugh Inc. and stuff. I was just thinking therapists should do that with their business. Call it like the Sadness Company or like, you know, like childhood issue. Like they should start doing like, instead of chuckles, it's like, like the feelings.
You've heard of Wawas? We've got Want-Was.
Yeah. It's just like how comedy clubs are always named after like giggles or, you know, like side splitters. It's like therapists should absolutely jump on this.
Chain therapy? I like that.
Or just, but that's because it's hard to find a therapist. So if you just had a therapist and you were like, yeah, I went down to the, you know, Sadness Inc. and booked a guy that talked to me every Tuesday.
Are you Hugs? Hugs is my spot.
Yeah. Are you having some trouble in your life? Come on down to Crybabies.
In the time that I worked at Kansas City at Stanford and Sons, all three brothers died.
Jay's the angel of death.
I know shit.
I love how you really leaned in. Yeah. You didn't even grab the mic.
I am the death bringer.
For when Jay shall see you, then you shall perish. He had a brother. They're all, and you know, R.I.P. to the Glazer family.
I know I'm not getting paid anyway. So
Yeah.
let's take you guys out.
You're actually still on the calendar.
I just popped up. Yeah.
They were all like really big drug addicts, but one of the brothers was a manager and he had a deviated septum. So his nose was collapsed from doing too much yak. And he would tell you how the show was going to go every night. He'd walk in the green room. I've told the story before, but he'd go, here's how it's going to go. Craig's going to go up and give some announcements. The MC's going to do 15. The feature's going to do 25. You're going to do an hour. First night, you're like, absolutely, sounds good. You do it every show where you're like, I don't have drug brain like you. I can remember the set times.
Is he the one that like wrote the book about being a narc?
No, that's Craig. That's the main guy.
I was like happy that he was an informant.
He was a narc that stole from drug dealers pretending to be a cop.
That club.
Do you believe any of this stuff?
Yeah.
Really?
I kind of wish I had played this club now.
Oh, it did. Well, listen, one time
I think
I
it's
was
better
going
in story form. It's better in retrospect.
One time I was going there, and this is more of a funny thing about the manager I had at the time, but it was this club. They, I was the Steinberg still for management, and I called them and I was like, "Hey, I want to bring Dave Smith with me, just to host. You know the story, just to host." At Stanford and Sons this weekend, and I go, he'll do it for host. This is when you'd be like, yeah, he'll stay in the room with me. We'll do it for host, like local host pay. We just want to hang. They go, Steinberg's like, nah, that guy's tough to deal. I'm not gonna. He's gonna say no. It's gonna blah blah blah. I go, why would he say no? I'm asking for nothing different other than can it be Dave doing the job than a local host? He's like, yeah, dude, I'm not. They just said they weren't doing it. So I was bummed. And then my buddy Wayne called me, who like worked in comedy, and I go, Wayne Rada, you remember?
Yeah, I know
Rada?
Wayne.
I go, he's like, what's wrong? I go, I'm just bummed. I was trying to get Dave to host for me, but Steinbergs won't even try to call him. And he goes, you want me to call him? I go, oh yeah. I go, yeah, I'll call him. I'll tell him I'm your assistant and ask for the thing, and I'll see if I can get it for you. I go, dude, if you do that, I'll give you a couple bucks for it. He goes, yeah, sure. He called back in 5 minutes. He's like, Dave, he's sharing the room with me, Dave, but he's making full feature pay and he's featuring. He's not even hosting. He's going to be featuring that weekend. And I was like, whoa. I go, thanks, Wayne. Everything's great. So Kurt Metzger was out there a week before me at this club, and he goes, hey man, are you all right? He saw me back in the cellar. He goes, are you all right? I go, yeah. He goes, in Kansas City, people were just asking if you were definitely coming next week and everything. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'm coming. And then when I land, me and Dave land, we get there. The guy who picks you up is this guy, Dana. You know, some cities, the driver guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dana's driven me every time at this place, and he's got me weed and all kinds of stuff. So, but he's being weird as shit when he picks me up. He's not talking to us, right? He's like, how you doing? Good to see you. Puts the bag and not talking. And I go, Dana, what's up? I go, what's going on? I go, Kurt Metzger said everybody was asking if I was definitely coming. What's going on? He goes, I'm glad you brought it up. He goes, well, we were told that you have to bring Dave with you because you're coming off of drugs and you're freaking out, and Dave's kind of there to watch me and make sure I don't like swallow my own tongue in my sleep or something. And he happens to be a comic. I'm like, what? And then Wayne's thing was just like, I got him the feature for you. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you can't not tell me. I'm coming off. Everyone's like really uneasy around me and stuff. They go, you doing okay? I was like, let me get a shot. Like, is it okay to give him a shot? I don't have a problem. I was
gonna say, did you play it up? Just like, really great to be here this weekend, guys.
I got you the gig. Dave, it's happening. It's happening, Dave.
I feel cold.
So I was like, yeah, if I go King Kong, Dave's not going to stop me.
Did you hear the story that happened to me at the Cincinnati Funny Bone where they thought I shit on beds?
No. How does someone think that?
I just stayed in the condo. So you had to pay. So you stayed in the condo, and then they had someone come clean it, but you're supposed to leave a tip for them. I didn't know. I just cleaned the condo myself. The dude that's supposed to clean the condo was pissed he didn't get a tip. So he told everyone I took a shit on the bed, and I threw up on the walls. And so I'm home. I'm going to see a movie with the girls. I get a call from Erin. She goes, are you okay? I said, yeah, why? She goes, well, this is weird, but I heard that you took a shit on the bed and threw up all over the walls. And I was like, no. I was like, absolutely not. I was like, I cleaned the condo. And she goes, well, just want to give you a heads up. That's the word going round. I said, going round? She goes, there was a mass email to all the funny bones about your shitting. And I was like, Erin, you got to get in front of this. She goes, I'll send an email tomorrow. Next weekend, I'm in Toledo. It was the owner, we used to work the kitchen there. And I do the weekend, and they have an electric toilet at the Toledo Funny Bone. You remember that? It was an electric toilet. So you couldn't take shits in it. Well,
wait,
what?
I need some info on this.
It's an
Does it shock you if you shit in it?
No, it's not properly plumbed. So you can't shit in it.
So it's a urinal.
So it's a toilet, but you just aren't. So in between shows on Saturday, it floods, and the manager comes in and he goes, I fucking knew about you and your goddamn shits. And I was like, what? I go, I didn't take a shit. And he was like, yes, you did. So then they plumb it out and they go, it's a tampon. The manager pulls all the waitresses in between shows. He goes, I gotta know who's on their fucking period. They're all like, so little profit.
Yeah, it's like one of us owns this funny bone now.
Yeah. Who's on their period? Who's on their period? They were like, Jesus.
Did we ever tell on your show the joke grenade you left for me in San Antonio once?
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. This year has gone so quickly. What's something you're proud of in 2024? Think about it so far. Something that you still want to accomplish? What's that? When life goes this fast, it's important to take stock and have a moment to celebrate your wins and make adjustments for the rest of the year. Therapy can help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. I look 5 years out sometimes, which can overwhelm the process and be like, what do I want in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 10 years? When you sit with your therapist, they can go, let's take a look at smaller achievable goals. That's what me and my therapist are talking about right now, is goals I can take care of in these next 6 to 9 months that I'm off of. And it's nice to not have them be career-oriented goals. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. All you got to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Take a moment. Visit BetterHelp.com/Bert today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Bert. This show is brought to you by Helix. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections, the Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, and the Helix Kids mattress, designed for growing bodies, endorsed by child sleep experts. So how are you going to know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? Bro, I can't believe this wasn't done before. Old school, you just go to a mattress store and lay down on it and goes, that feels good. But no. With Helix, you take the Helix Sleep Quiz and you find the perfect mattress for you in just under 2 minutes. And your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door, free of charge. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night trial and a 10 to 15-year warranty to try out your new Helix mattress. I am telling you right now, it's the only mattress I'll sleep on. It's the only mattress I'll sleep on, mostly because I would almost say entirely because I take that sleep quiz and I know what I want. And then when it comes out, they know what I want. It's the perfect, I'm getting amazing sleep scores, and it is all because of my Helix mattress. Helix is offering up to 30% off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/Bert. That's helixsleep.com/Bert. This is their best offer yet, and it won't last long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Well, I should tell my perspective first, because
You should tell your perspective.
and then you tell your perspective of what you did. Because I mean, it's just like they come to me and they go, a girl, end of the weekend, great weekend. And this girl who was actually nice several times the weekend comes up and goes, one of the wait staff, she goes, hey, you're friends with Bert Kreischer, right? Can I talk to you? And I was like, yeah. Already with her tone, I'm doing like like I know him. He goes, yeah. I mean, she goes, you like have his number? And I'm like, before you answer that, you're like, what's this about? What is he? What's wrong? And she goes, well, I'll tell you what's wrong. She goes, my cousin, he was here a couple months back or something, and he was partying with the staff every night, hanging out. And my little sister and him ended up hooking up. So already right there, I'm just like, this is the side of Bert I didn't believe existed. I don't think it's that. And I'm like, okay, so I'm processing that first. I'm like, all right. I go, but I'm like, oh, it's not my business really. You know what I mean? And then she's like, yeah. He goes, well, here's the problem. Is she's pregnant. And they lay it on hard. She's pregnant. I go, oh. She goes, so I like need his number. And I was like, I don't want to get involved in that. Like, I don't want to be part of the ladder of that. She goes, well, then you might want to talk to him about it because bigger problem, she didn't tell him this, but she's 16. Oh Jesus Christ. And then that girl just walked off.
She left.
She left pissed.
She left.
Left me. Now I got fans that are sitting there going, like, can I get a picture? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, the weight of this information you've just given me, like, oh my God. So you should tell what happened.
The weekend, like 2 weekends before, I go, oh, Big Jay's coming. I go, he's one of my good buddies. I go, let's play a joke on him. I go, tell him, and there was a 16-year-old girl. I go, you should tell him that we had sex and you're pregnant, and see the look on his face, and then tell him, it's a joke. They never told him it was a joke. They just told him Bert got her pregnant, and they all went home.
Yeah. Hours later, Mike Suarez, I think, he goes, Oh no, I heard him talk in the back. I think Bert, like it was the thing Bert set up, and I go, oh, that makes much. I was able to accept that right away because I'm like, that makes so much more sense than everything you've just told me. Bert's double life if it was a teenage.
Who does a practical joke and just
through the ringer on the road like he's coming off drugs. Oh, my friend slept with an underage woman.
But it's so funny. It got posted. Someone posted a thing of it, and the second it happened, I was like, Christine goes, "Are you fucking smoking on the road?" And I'm sitting here quitting with you. I go, "Ah, shit."
It's funny, majority of people, if a server came up to you and said, hey, that person hooked up with my 16-year-old cousin and got her pregnant, you'd be like, okay.
That's what I said. It was you, so it was so jarring.
Yeah, you just go, I didn't know they had that gear on them. That's all it is. You go, he does that kind of stuff. Fuck.
Yeah, right.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever seen
it too emotional where I was really like, I don't know this man at all.
Have you ever seen those comics switch those gears? You didn't know they had it in them, and then you work with them, and they're like, hey, I'm gonna need the green room for a little bit. And you're like, what? He's like, I got one of the girls coming in to suck my dick, and you're like, I just ordered wings.
We were talking about that last night, being a substance guy, because you're just kind of like, you want to do substances? And then they're like, someone's going to come in here and fuck me. And you go, this just changed the energy, and I don't like it.
I'm not going to give names, but I'm going to give specific stuff here because I don't like the people. I was in Sioux Falls at the Funny Bone.
Yeah.
I'm working with this guy who brought me, I like this guy. Married, kids. I leave to go get in the car with the host. We're waiting on him. So I'm like, what the fuck's taking so long? So I go back into the thing and he just has the owner up against one of the pillars from behind, just fucking crushing her. It was so wild. And I immediately put my hand behind me so the door didn't slam. And I was like, well, I'll be back in the car. And you just wait. And then he gets in and we're like, what's up, man? And he goes, oh, nothing. Just had like fucking spoke a little sweaty, breathing hard. Oh, nothing. I just had to figure some stuff out for the weekend. It's like, okay.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Classic Howie Mandel, dude. That's what he does.
That happened with me in Sacramento. I worked with a dude, and his whole thing was about how he's married and he's a great dad and this and that. And
By the way, beware of those comics anytime.
Clean comics.
that's what I
Like,
fucking can't stand. I try on my opening bit. I'm shitting on Leanne, and everyone's like, it sounds mean. I go, yeah, that's what people that love their wives do. Yeah. Then like the ones that are like, I'm a married man. I love my kids. I'm there for those are the dogs.
I'm a man of faith.
Yeah.
I love my wife. And occasionally I go to a rest stop bathroom and fuck a boy. Yeah. Occasionally.
You might find me with
that brings me closer to God. It's like re-upping my purity.
He goes, let's get lunch tomorrow. We were in a motel next to like a fucking Denny's. And I go, sure, like noon. He's like, yeah, noon will be good. So I show up his door at noon. He opens it like Brad Pitt in fucking, where he's clearly fucking the girl. He goes, what do you need? It's like, are we getting lunch? He's like, I'm in the middle of something. You didn't see this. And he just shuts the door. And I was like, oh, I guess I'll eat lunch by myself.
Was he wearing the dish glove like Brad Pitt when he opens it? Dude, that's fucking wild.
What if he was just wrestling housekeeping though?
Yeah.
We're shitting all over.
I found a girl. I found one of the maids is proficient in Greco-Roman. We're up here locked.
$100 to fight, motherfucker.
In Providence Comedy Connection once, the bathrooms were like upstairs, and they were king people. And one of the staff comes down and says to me and Dave, one of the owners, he goes, there's a couple like fucking or whatever like in one of the bathrooms upstairs, and like they're being kind of like we've asked them to come out like 3 times and they're not. So he's like, I'll handle this. He goes, I have to go watch. And they go back there. This guy could talk about a guy who was like, when you get caught, you assume everyone's usually kind of like, some version of like, okay, wrap it up or whatever. They go, he goes, sir. He goes, yeah. You literally hear this girl going, and he's like, sir, we need you to come out of there. He goes, yeah. He goes, we need you to come out of there. He goes, oh yeah. And then we just walked away. Like, they just won. It was like, there's really not much you could do. Like, they're not coming out.
He was in the zone.
You can argue with that.
When I was in Sacramento,
It's like when people steal from Walmart. You're just like, they don't pay me enough to stop this.
Do something about it. You're so upset. Do something about
Woody
it.
Harrelson. Like, I'm in the zone, man. They're scared and I'm in the zone.
When I was in Sacramento, that same motel, I get up at like 10 in the morning and I hear two people fucking like crazy in the room next to me, and it's a black chick. Whose pussy is this? This is your pussy. You gonna fuck this pussy?
I can still be a fat white chick.
And you just like, the guy's silent. The guy's not talking at all. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So the whole weekend, I'm waiting, like that whole morning, I'm waiting for them to leave the room to see them. And all of a sudden, the door opens. I race to my door. I open my door, and the black chick comes out, big black chick. She's like, hey, baby, how you doing? I said, good. And then comes out the skinniest Eminem white guy. And I went, that's why he wasn't talking. And I looked at him and went, that makes sense.
God, fuck.
I walked out in the parking lot. I had to chase a couple because they'd bought merch. Then we took a picture, but they set the merch down. So I ran out and I'm like looking for them after a couple more pictures, and they're already in the front seat, and she's just on him, riding him. And I just have to go, tink, tink, tink. Forgot your shirt. And they don't stop. They go, drop it.
Yeah, and it's like a bit. It's one of your bit shirts that you're like, you go, don't forget to turn right and say hi. It's like a
reaction to comedy, which is like, I gotta fuck now.
Yeah. God,
I've been laughing an awful lot. I am about it right now.
Those observations got me going.
Yeah. This guy, he just says what we're all thinking, and what we're thinking is we should fuck in the car right after this.
Oh my God.
But there are some comics who just are like fuck comics. They're just like that. Their act is like geared towards getting
Who's
laid.
a fuck comic?
Yeah,
I mean,
who's a sexy fuck comic?
I mean, we
Lay it out.
without naming names, we all know.
Tour yet?
Yeah.
I know you got the
Sexy
merch
fuck
printed up,
comics.
but because it's been a sexy fuck, too much for the side of the bus. All right. Sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, though.
You put your sunglasses on right away like you're trying to become that.
Dude, I thought you shifted.
Oh, shit. All right.
All right, let's fucking do it. Party time,
Caught
dude.
up in my thing.
But you're saying that their whole act is geared.
It's people that talk about it.
Yeah, but they're like, you know what I'm talking about. Those like guys who are like,
Well, it was funny because it was such an interesting thing. Like when Def Jam came along, like that. Besides, like Dice was the only like Def Jam style comic in the sense that like it was, I fuck great, my dick's big, I eat pussy so good. Do you know what I mean? It took all the self-deprecation out of it and stuff.
Yeah.
So that is like, and that was essentially like a genre of comedy designed to get pussy. You're like,
I worked with a guy who talked about having a big dick on stage. And he was like, yeah, it just puts feelers out.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I bet Andy Kaufman laid pipe.
well, do you know, I've always thought kind of what's
weird stuff,
what's interesting. I don't think you're gonna get pussy from. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. Obviously, I have a big dick and I do this so great, and I can fuck for hours. But like, if that's not like murdering in my mind, it's always like you could go up if you do have 80 jokes about having a little dick and that you come quick. If the room's like explode, I think that's what attracts them more in that moment than being like,
Yeah.
do you know, unless you're just already good looking, it
That
doesn't
was
really
the
matter what
that
you
was
do.
the problem. That's the problem about being like like I don't even know if it exists anymore. But the alt scene is they also fucked, but they were because they were at UCB, they were branded as good people.
That's like in high school when you find out that most of the fucking was going on with the band. Like all the band
theater kids.
all the theater and the band kids were fucking.
Yeah.
And then everyone else is like, oh damn, I'm trying.
What was the name of the guy from? He was like on. Him and his wife had
We
an
did
open
an interview
relationship.
about, he goes like sex clubs and
Yeah,
stuff.
he goes, I go to sex clubs, and I think
that's my point about the clean comic. It's never who you actually suspect,
Yeah.
and then it kind of is.
that's what
who
got
you
John
suspect.
Christ.
Yeah.
John Christ was just a dude.
Jesus,
Just a dude. But he talked about, he believed in God, but he also liked to have a good time. He didn't even fuck the chick. He just took her rollerblading and tried to kiss her. And it fucked his career.
Is that true?
100% true.
That is creepier than
He
just cheat on your wife. Don't do this.
he is a
Don't do this grooming shit.
You want me to put on wrist guards?
I
right
went.
now?
I took her to Build-A-Bear, and then
he was just a regular person.
made her a mix CD.
He was a good guy. I remember I did an interview with him, and he goes, he still is a good guy. He's a great guy. He's a great comic too. Great. I mean, if you believe in God, his shit is so good. Like if that's your thing, it's so fucking good. But he was like, He was like, yeah,
I'm so confused. If you believe in God, his stuff's
It's a
amazing.
weird thing, yeah.
dude.
Because, you know what? I have some questions.
So you
about
mean
God.
church?
He goes,
Is it
you're
you
gonna
mean
hate this
church?
guy?
Do you love it because you're easy to trick?
Yeah, I'm like,
What makes it good?
If you believe in God, he was a hypnotist. No, he used to do mega churches instead of theaters. And because it's religion, they give him great deals on the venue. So he'd make
Because they're not paying taxes on them.
crazy fucking money. Crazy money. And then he, couple chicks, he's
Well, I
like,
wonder if that helps him with taxes because you say it's a sermon of sorts. And
I
you're
think
performing it.
Yeah, you should probably write it off as tithing.
oh, yeah. I remember he was like,
The guy sounds like a scam front to back, if you ask me. This philandering piece of shit.
Yeah, hey, I would like to take you rollerblading. What woman here is rollerblading and thinks a man's going to kiss her? Nobody.
I love the buildup. If you believe in God, you're going to love this guy. Like, if you don't believe in God, fully loaded. This is tour for you. This is it, dude.
he had to go to rehab. And he was like, no, he had a water bottle full of vodka with
reasons.
him. And so he was like, yeah, I remember my low, like my bottom. I said, what was it? And he goes, buddy, I one time drank at an airport. I was like, oh, fuck. We are not adjacent.
Hypothetically,
That's my top.
Do you think God gets mad by that's who's repping him? Where God goes, listen, I fucking party, guys. I invented party. All the God people are like, I had a soda and I was out. He's like, these dorks are too loud, okay? I made everybody.
Is this vodka in your water bottle? And God goes,
5 o'clock somewhere.
It's whatever I want it to be. I change water into wine.
Yeah.
Whatever I want.
I mean, didn't
God's
God
like-
get an engaged lady pregnant?
Yeah, God's like,
That's
I'm over
pretty
here.
fucked
I'm over here banging virgin married ladies.
Exactly. Just hanging out with prostitutes and gamblers.
God goes, I created all of it. All the shit. Why are the dorks the loudest?
God was like the original country star that was hanging around with the seedy folks and everything.
Yeah.
And then they went to like, oh no, he's good. He doesn't drink. He doesn't
he was
do
outlaw
drugs."
country.
Yeah, he was.
David Alco now.
Anytime
It would just
there's
suck
like,
if you had to hear those people talking about you and you're like, I swear I'm cooler than that.
but anytime there's any purity to your act, it does feel like such a fucking grift.
Yeah.
It really does.
Oh, especially if it's virtue signal. Like the
Yeah.
way Nate does it, like Nate just is, he just doesn't.
He just is clean.
He is just a clean person.
Well, you guys
Nate's
got to see his
Nate's an
new
incredible
closer.
comic.
Not that purity in preaching is different than you just don't swear or talk about your
Yeah.
balls.
Well, you guys need to see his new closer where he levitates.
No, that's what's always been the most like impressive thing, and why nothing would ever surprise me about like Nate's success was that like in life he actually, I was friends. He cursed and blah blah blah, whatever. Just he's a normal guy.
Yeah.
Big into
not
needle
over
drugs.
the top, but not over the top like with it. But I mean, he just his comedic like writing mind never even thought that way. So he just that's why I always said Nate happens to be clean. It's got nothing to do with that. Like we dub him a clean comic, but it's not what I would like. I wouldn't call him a clean comic.
I'm so grateful that my first sexual experience was so bad that it scared me from fucking people. Like I was like, I'm not good at this. This is not what I want to share with people.
Bert, I'd say you missed out a little bit.
Buddy,
It gets better.
But Bert, I'm right there with you. Keep going.
I remember like that. It's like, cause I would never, even when I was single, I was terrified to have sex with someone because I came so fast that humiliation was never something I wanted to introduce to like I didn't want a story about me. So I was always like, I want to date them a little bit because I was like, and then I can show them how bad I am. Like the first time I had sex with Leanne, it was so bad. And
Why?
Because I was just bad. I'm just bad. I would
What? When you say bad, like
fucking 2 pumps and I come
okay.
immediately.
Dude, people ask me what song you lose your virginity to, and I will tell them the words "I am a man that will fight for your honor" from Chicago. That's the verse I fuck to. That's
Sorry.
it.
Sorry to jump in here. It's actually solo Peter Cetera work. Yeah.
Is it really?
Karate Kid 2 soundtrack.
Okay.
Thank you. Peter Cetera solo work.
I didn't know it was solo work. Interesting.
Yeah.
I had a guy, my buddy Pete.
Mine was Sadness Part 1 by Enigma, which is the worst.
Mine was the Rice-A-Roni theme song.
Mine was I'm blue.
I'm blue.
Mine was Colors. Summer is jam-packed and the heat is no joke. So we've got to prioritize hydration. We're made up of 60 to 70% water. So when we're dehydrated, we feel imbalanced. You know the signs: fogginess, fatigue, all the things I'm feeling right now. That's why I have a Liquid IV right here. With all the drinks out there, you want hydration that works. Liquid IV delivers extraordinary hydration with advanced science thanks to Live Hydra Science, an optimized ratio of electrolytes, vitamins, and nutrients. One stick of Liquid IV delivers superior hydration to water alone with 3 times the electrolytes of the leading sports drinks, plus 8 vitamins and nutrients. It's hydration for endurance, mental clarity, and overall well-being. My favorite flavor is sugar-free white peach. It is the perfect poolside companion. I have my tank top. I have my peach right here. I'm taking it out to the pool in a second. And I'm telling you, we're in Florida right now. That is where dehydration often wins the battle. And I am staying hydrated with the sugar-free white peach. It is so freaking good. Turn your ordinary water into extraordinary hydration with Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code BERT at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code BERT at liquidiv.com. Mando whole body deodorant will keep you stink-free all summer, even in the hottest months. So here are the most important things you need to know about Mando. You can put it on your whole body. Yes, your whole body. It's long-lasting. The solid stick and invisible cream are proven to control odor for 72 hours. The body wash and cleansing bar are proven to control odor for 24 hours. I start with the body wash in the shower to, prime my skin. Then I apply the invisible cream to my whole body. And I'm getting ready for whatever summer throws at me. 100 degrees of weather, 90% humidity. Whatever Florida has to give me, I am after it. Forgot to apply the deodorant? Keep the acidified deodorant wipes in the car, your gym bag, just to freshen up on the go. Here's a special offer. Ready? For new customers, get $5 off Mando's best-selling starter pack with code BERTCAST at shopmando.com. Bro, I stink to the high heavens if I'm not using my Mando. And I am using their body wash and the cream, all of it. And bro, no one has said a word about me stinking at all on Fully Loaded, and I used to reek. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. Luckily, I have a discount code to help you get hooked on my new favorite smelling whole body deodorant on the market. New customers get $5 off a starters pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. Use code BERTCAST at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. This is the best one ever. You know when you hear comics go, I got the best one ever? Not a comic, best one ever. Lives in Chicago, October. He's hooking up with his chick. They get to the back of his mom's station wagon, and they start to have sex, and the song changes right as he's about to have sex. He goes, "It was the mash. It was the monster mash.
I was working in the lab."
Monster Smash.
Yeah.
But then every Halloween, it's just going to be like boner season. When that song plays, and it's like, I was working. He's like, it's happening again.
Do you have a smell that reminds you of losing your virginity?
I can't smell.
Domino's Pizza. It was Valentine's Day, and they were having the pizzas in the heart shape, pepperoni for like $6.99. I'm like, this will do it.
It was that and Peter Cetera. This is a romantic night, huh?
Yeah,
That's
you.
America.
Was she an Asian girl making you tea by a lake?
Benetton.
Benetton was
The smell.
Oh, the cologne.
The girl, I think it was Benetton Colors, I think was the smell that, and she sprayed it in my book in school. She's like, if you ever want to think about me. And if I opened that book, it brought back anxiety. It never was a good feeling. It was a panic attack of like, oh God, I have AIDS. I thought I was going to get AIDS.
Newport cigarettes and a Days Inn. Yeah.
I had sex with a chick who smoked Newports and drank Cavassier. And the whole time we had sex, I thought, this is what it's like to fuck Tupac.
You fucked the ladies, man.
She's from Liverpool.
really?
Boston Comedy Club. Her and her sister came through. It was my only one night stand. Not even one night stand, because I hung out for the weekend. We went to we went to, they needed a place to stay. And I was like, you guys can crash at my place. And they were from Liverpool traveling. We went to the theme park during the day. I'd never ridden a roller coaster before. So I was terrified. I'm terrified of roller coasters. And I rode roller coasters with them. And we hung out. They came to the club again that night, hung out, did stuff all day, walked around with them. And then that night, I was in my bed and she got in my bed with me, the older sister. And she was like, that Liverpudlian accent, just like, you got room in here for another one? And I was like,
Such a sexy accent, dude.
God,
no, she was tongue-tied too. She was tongue-tied, meaning her tongue didn't go out of her mouth.
So she sounded deaf and British.
So you couldn't.
So am I about to lie with you?
Am I about to fuck Toll Booth Willie?
I got me gases ready to go.
I was walking in the lab late one. She did the intro for the Monster Man.
Well, you know what you do? That's a tough accent to wake up to after you have sex, and then she's like, "But I'm ready for me bangers and mash." Like,
Was she 100%? Mentally?
She
It's
called.
like you're describing, like she might have just been from Jersey, but you know.
I came close to having sex with a chick from Ireland once, and with Patrice. Not with Patrice, but Patrice was there. And she had missed her ferry, and she came back to our flat in Scotland. And we were hooking up, and she was like, I'm going to die an old maid. An old maid. And I was like, this is not. And I remember Patrice opened the door and looked in, and he started laughing, and he shut the door. Next morning, he's sitting with breakfast. He's like, oh, we're going to talk about this.
Did you just have a Pride and Prejudice moment last night?
Yeah.
That was fucking weird.
She was Irish. I hooked up with two chicks, her and then this girl with cerebral palsy. That trip.
What is this?
Yeah.
You have so few.
Now do her accent.
you're like Professor X with broken women. You just have all these broken women that are like,
How bad was her palsy? Did you have to like tie her legs around your hips?
I've told you this.
The body was like bangers and mash.
I met her on a plane. She was beautiful. Beautiful. Met her on a plane.
Ah, you met her sitting.
Took Xanax. Drank. She's like, hey, me and my friends are going out in Soho tonight. And I was like, cool. Brought my buddy Tony Hernandez with us. My buddy Huicho. We all go out. Soho, cobblestone streets.
Oh,
We're all hammered. We've been partying all day. Go out, have a blast. I'm like, dude, I think I'm into her. And Tony's like, you need to see her in the light. And I was like, what? And he's like, something's off with her. And I was like, you guys are just
Why?
jealous.
Because her knees are never not touching when she walks.
no, dude, she's doing a cool gangster lean.
Yeah.
That's how she walks.
And then I took her out in the sunlight, and I remember she had like orthopedic shoes on in a sundress. And I was like, that's an odd flex. And she was a trust fund kid too. She had a ton of money.
Oh, nice.
And then we went to lunch, and she didn't use her right hand. She just ate with her left. And I was like, there was something going on. She's like, I have cerebral palsy. I thought you knew that. And I was like, no. And so then, but she was really cool. So I dated her, brought her to Scotland. And I was like, it's subtle. No one's going to notice. She walks in the door. Patrice O'Neill puts his right hand out to shake her hand. She puts out the left hand. He goes, what, you royalty, bitch? Give me the other hand. He goes, oh, shit. You got a baby hand. You got a baby hand and a baby leg. Hey, Bert, something's wrong with your chick. And I was like, God damn it, right away. Yeah. And then Patrice and her hated each other.
No, that's the opening.
Yeah.
Hey, retard. It's pretty much digging out of a hole after that.
Yeah, there's getting off on a wrong foot joke to be made here for somebody. But.
Hey, sit down. Sorry about the retard thing earlier.
Patrice went up to Eddie Izzard that weekend. And it was so uncomfortable. He was like, so what are you gay? He was like, no, I'd like to dress as a woman. Patrice goes, so you gay? And he was like, no, I like that. And Patrice just would not let up at the table. Say you're gay. I say you're gay and I'll let you dress like a woman, but you got to say you're gay first. Eddie
Say you're gay and I'll let you dress like a woman. It's hilarious.
My voice is going so easily these days.
I'm so glad we didn't eat that Indian food last night. Whose idea was that to get fucking
I ate
Indian
it.
food?
Didn't touch
you
me.
ate it?
Didn't touch me.
Didn't touch
Really?
me.
Yeah.
We're on a tour bus. We can't poop on a tour bus.
I have an
to
iron
have
gut.
Indian food.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was rolling a risk.
Butter chicken.
Wait, should we talk about Bobby Lee?
Oh my God.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
I actually shit.
Zach,
So
I
I shit the Indian food onto the floor wanted to cover it up, so I punched Bobby Lee in the face. Split his lip, and he bled all over my shit.
Subject change.
Bobby Lee fell out of the top bunk. Look, I was in the top bunk too on the bus, and the top bunk does stress me out. Like the car's moving, you got to get up to pee.
Yeah.
That's a little balancing act. And, Bobby, 52, doesn't really have the physique to land that fucking.
But if we were an Ocean's 11 team, he'd be the guy in the vents. So he should be able to land on his feet.
Asian?
Yes.
He'd be the guy
Because I thought the
falling through
gymnast was the
ceiling.
more qualifying part for that guy.
Yep.
Oh, I always thought it was just that he was Asian.
Yeah,
They're all acrobats, right?
Oh.
He was right above me.
Shane Yun isn't from Ireland.
Yeah, well, Bobby split his lip open, but we woke up at like 4 a.m. He's like, I split my lip open, like 4 pictures of it. No one responds except Kyle.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it must have been handled because I got in last night. So I'm like on a fresh night's sleep. I was up at 6. And it's like so many pictures of him bleeding. And I'm like, put ice on it and tell people you did something cooler than falling out of a bunk bed. Like, hey, we're all comics. And then nothing, there's no response. And then it's just Leanne and somebody else like, oh my God, we're coming to help. I'm like, he hasn't been helped yet? He's just sitting there. Because then I looked, like it was texted like 4 a.m. Like, oh, he just texted, he's just alone in the dark bleeding. And I'm like, hey,
the worst.
Suck it up, you fucking puss. And then no, for hours. And then it was like 3 hours later, Leanne like, oh my God, we're going to take you to the hospital. I'm like, this isn't the way
Did he have to go to the
start this
hospital?
trip.
He fell. I went in the bus.
He wasn't alone. So
And that didn't wake you up at all?
I did. So he's above
And you
me.
still didn't check on him?
I did.
A little Asian careening towards you in the middle of the night.
So I thought he kicked me in the ass trying to get up, but then as I was waking up, I was like, that seemed louder than it needed to be. And then so he leaned across to try to grab the bunk across from him and just whiffed and went full fucking face. And then fell backwards and his head hit my ass. I sleep with my ass kind of out of the bunk. And so he hit my ass with his head. And then I heard him like, where the fuck are my shoes? I just need my shoes. And I'm like, okay. And then I hear him asking, how the fuck do I get out of here? And he's like trying to hit the button. So then I get up and he's, just sliced.
Damn.
Pouring
Pretty
blood.
decent. And then he goes, do you think I need stitches? And I go, I don't think so.
Super
let's just
glue.
wait till we get there and we'll figure it out. Because I didn't want to go, Jesus Christ, dude, you need stitches.
Did you think he did?
Oh,
for
absolutely.
Sure?
You
Oh,
need
yeah.
stitches. Yeah,
He
it was
just
wide
sat there
open.
in the dark by himself, didn't want to wake anyone up. And he just
No, we were up with him.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, 'cause
I
I-
heard he was covered in blood.
I
and
checked
someone
his
turned on the light,
pupils and
and it was like the Ring. He just was sitting there. Turn the light back off. He disappears.
That'd be such a terrifying thing to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And Bobby's just sitting there bleeding. There was an accident.
Is this my grudge?
but his shirt was covered in blood, his socks. It was nasty.
He didn't bring a ton of clothes with
He
him.
was bleeding for a
I know,
while.
and he was bragging how expensive that shirt was to me last night. He was like, this is a 200.
There's a little hubris that came in.
He was like, this shirt, $250. I'm like, it's a terrible shirt. But 250, now it's a rag, yeah.
But it's a Kiss shirt, right? It wasn't. I think it was a Kiss shirt.
it is a Kiss
and so now
shirt.
it has blood all over it, so it's gonna rule.
All right.
Yeah, and we're gonna find out if he goes on stage tonight. He was. I think the move is.
His lip is going to look hilarious.
He's got to go out.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but you wonder if it affects his speech, if it's just going to be like fucking huge.
He was talking pretty funny earlier.
Yeah. But that's just his accent.
Yeah.
Just I can't do my hoop.
That'll probably make you want to hook up with him in Scotland.
You didn't see her thick neck or anything, Bert?
He was having so much fun
CP
last
usually
night
brings a
too.
thick neck with it.
He was having so much fucking fun, and he came up and he's like, "Thanks for bringing me out on this. I never get to do stuff like this." And then first thing, Leanne wakes up in a panic. Bobby fell out of his bunk and busted his lip, and I was like, "Motherfucker!"
Last night, he's like, there's no way this can go wrong. Nothing can happen that could ruin my good time.
Bobby looked at me when I went out there and he goes, I shouldn't even be on the top bunk. I'm a midget. I was like,
That's why
okay,
you should be on the top.
we can switch.
No.
Yeah.
I think short, you got to be on the bottom bunk.
I think less weight, which is now proven wrong. I'm thinking less weight is less damage falling. You don't put heavy stuff on the top shelf.
I
But clearly he's got stitches, proving my thesis.
I thought he just rolled out of the bunk. But it's him trying to get out of the bunk makes way more sense. That's a first injury. It's not as bad as Joey Diaz waking up and fucking on mushrooms
Skitzing out.
and just opening every fucking curtain. Everyone up, cocksuckers. I'm in a fucking coffin. I can't get my sleep apnea machine to work. Pull the bus over, Ron.
Man, the road is not made for older comedians. That is my sleep apnea machine. That's fucking rough.
Yeah, it's a lot to have to like lug around.
You have a choice: charge your iPhone or use your CPAP.
Oh,
That's tough.
Yeah.
I'd be iPhone all day. I'm supposed to
Come
have
up
a
with a
CPAP.
CPAP with USB ports. You don't even need to do. You don't even need to do comedy anymore. Made everybody
You need to put a patent on
edit that out. I don't
Edit
want
that out. That's how Kyle buys property on in the Pacific Northwest.
Write it down, mail it to yourself. Hobo copyright.
Yeah, exactly.
The best is when we've gotten Attell every night.
Oh, he's the best.
That's the best. Is Attell just doesn't sleep, so he just gets in the bus. He just doesn't. He's like a vampire.
He goes to
He's
the,
up till like 9 a.m. and then he
I don't
checks.
need a
in-
bunk.
No, he doesn't. He just
And we all went to bed, and he was like, "Well, I'm going to sit out here." And then I went to go piss later in the night, and he was just up talking to the bus driver, smoking cigarettes.
Do you think he just killed a guy once or something? That's just
saw
why.
something
He's
so
like-
horrible?
He's just staying one step ahead of his past. At
As
all
if the
times.
Punisher became a comedian. He goes, "I had a family. Mafia gunned him down. Now I got punchline."
I love hearing him last night. Savannah, Georgia. You guys know how to party. Whatever city's in Ann Arbor, Michigan, you guys do it right. Attell's the funniest, dude.
the best is the hang after in Jelly's tent.
Yeah.
Because Jelly Roll pulls out his tent, and his tent's meant to hang. It's big, and all the chairs are around. And the first night we do the Charleston, and I'm doing the meet and greet upstairs, and I'm like, wait, where are all the comics? I was like, oh, fuck, they went to bed. And so I was like, all right, I could probably go to bed. It's like 2 a.m. So I start walking out, and I see Jelly's bus, and it's a fucking circle of everyone. And Attell is like fucking holding court, and he's got a cigarette, and he's like, I'll tell you another story about Mitch, because Jelly Roll just found out about Mitch Hedberg. Found out who he was and that he died in the same day. He was like, fuck.
I can't wait to see this guy. Never mind.
But that was that circle, and then we were passing around joints that were so Jelly's weed is rolled so big, and it was just me and Jay going back and forth.
It doesn't even matter if it's good or bad weed. It's so much of it. It couldn't matter. There's so much going around.
You're gonna get there.
I got in bed with Leanne. I told her, I at one point I go, I'm too high to function right now. I need to go to bed. I walked in, and we had gotten Attell the night before, and it was so fun. And she goes, you're going straight to bed. I said, well, is Attell going to be in the bus? And she goes, stop. You're going to bed. And I go, you can't tell me he's in the bus because I'll get up. She goes, he's not in the bus. And I'm in there in my bed going, is Attell in here? And she's like, shut the door. She gets in bed with me, and I'm so high, I kept saying, are you a hologram? Like, is this real? Because I'm always on the bus and she's never there. And now I'm talking to her and she has her light on and she's posed like a hologram. And I'm in pajamas, and I'm going, are you real?
She's like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
What do holograms pose like?
Yeah, that's a terrifying thing to be asked. Like, I like to get her position. She goes, "Are you a hologram?" I goes, oh shit, something a lunatic says before they kill you. What?
Holograms
You're a
don't
hologram.
feel
The
pain.
holograms are surrounding me. He goes, no, what?
Can you feel?
Attell is so fun to watch at the Cellar. I remember one night at the Cellar, 3 people come out, because the bathroom, you have to walk through the stage, and 3 guys come out all in glasses, and Attell goes, what is that, a nerd portal? Like, how do you come up with that? Off the cuff, it's always like the most insanely brilliant line.
I walked when I was first doing comedy. I used to wear Hawaiian shirts on stage, and I walked back to the bathroom. And as I'm walking to the bathroom, he goes, only 2 types of people wear Hawaiian shirts, party animals and and I go, I'm a party animal.
We were leaving, I used to open for Dave all the time, and I remember we were leaving a Terrytown Music Hall, and how Dave is, he's amazing, he kills, but he's like mad at himself somehow, and like he can't feel the love that we all feel for him. And he was like, God, I fucking suck. I suck. And I was like, what are you talking about? You're all of our favorite comic. And he goes, well, I'm better than you guys. So many good Attell. I mean, like the amount of times I love how cranky he is, but then he'll still be friendly with people outside the club when he's like, where someone's like, oh, a little glass thing at the end of his cigarette, to help it go down more quickly, I guess. And some guy goes, what's that? Apparently a conversation starter.
He told me last night, he goes, I love this joke you're doing. I think this is what you need. And he told me what he needed, and it definitely does, but I'm not smart enough to write it. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'll watch you tonight, and I'll see if I can come up with something for you. I was like, please. And then at the thing last night, he goes, I got 3 things. I think you need 3 things. The way you're doing it here, you do it in the front, you do it 3 times, real funny. And the first one he said was hilarious. I went, great. And he goes, I'll write them, and then just call me. We'll talk through it, and you can put it in your special. I was like,
yeah,
fuck yes.
The line,
his pacing is so like
relentless.
It's so relentless, and the way his brain thinks is like so in the get them in the rhythm of this, and then and it's just so
it's
fucking
pure. It's like the purest form of comedy where like a lot of comics get caught up in like trying to make a point or something. And Dave is just like, you watch him and then like, oh yeah, you're supposed to be funny.
No point, nothing personal.
It's just
no.
funny.
He was the first example I thought when they were like, that Hannah Gatsby article came out that everyone was pissed about, where it was like, if you're not using your voice in comedy to say something, then you're wasting people's time. You should get out of the way and not do comedy. And it's like,
by the way, every network is saying something. They come here for an escape.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's like the people you'd say that takes out of comedy that shouldn't be doing comedy.
Oh,
should Brian Regan not do comedy? He should fucking.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? David.
Who wrote that article?
It was like Rolling Stone. It was like
Really?
I don't know who the person was.
I met one of the dudes who wrote one of those articles.
Oh, it was a Hannah Gatsby comment. It was something she said, but it was in a Rolling Stone article. Yeah.
Hannah Gatsby is one of those people. Like when I met her, she's like, I'm gonna need the green room. I'm gonna fuck one of these chicks.
Dominant, like
Outski.
respect.
And by the way, it's like any people that are like, comedy has to be this. It's never a fucking funny person. There's types of comedy.
Oh yeah,
it's insane.
Exactly. Let me tell you how comedy has to be, guys. I just think there's.
Also, you're like, do you want everyone to do what you're doing? It's like if everyone starts doing what you're doing, you're gonna fall really far behind the thing.
Yeah.
dude. The funnest was going to the Netflix brunch and seeing the comics that had beef stand in different part of Ted Sanders' yard.
Get into it.
All of them.
Let's dish, girlfriend.
Cat
Who you
Williams,
got?
Kevin Hart, Hannah Gadsby, Chappelle. I mean, it was like 4 quadrants of talent.
Wow.
That you were like Hannah Gadsby was not going near Dave Chappelle.
Whose side did you pick? Where did you stand?
Oh, I US'd this on. I was on both sides.
You
to
mingled?
everyone. Oh yeah, went up to Cat Williams, was my favorite.
People who have everything and they're still unhappy.
Cat Williams showed up and it looked like an Evel Knievel suit with a flame retardant
That's
mask.
so. I'm about to jump the Snake River, baby. You ain't never seen a pimp jump 40 buses in a row.
I was supposed to work Deja Vu in Columbia, Missouri once, and it was supposed to be Kevin Hart, and then he got a part, like one of his first parts. And so they switched him out with Cat Williams because they had the same agent or manager or something. And Cat Williams, in the middle of Missouri, short black dude, has the long hair, a fur coat, cowboy boots, and a belt buckle that looks like a fucking serving tray. And he has 2 over 6 foot tall blonde models walk him to stage and then stand on each side. And he just fucking destroyed. It's the only time in that club I ever watched every single second of the headliner.
Oh,
That was a rough club.
It was unbelievable.
I remember that they have the club up top and the dance club down below, right?
Yeah, and if you go over the club, the owner Freddie DeMarco, he used to throw the keys on stage, and he's like, "Lock up when you're done." Like, just really fucking, he'd hand you a picture or a camera, and he goes, "Why don't you walk around and take a picture of this club because it's the last time you'll ever be here." That kind of shit.
Is that place out of business now?
I don't know. I think so.
Doesn't that feel good?
Freddie ruled though.
Isn't it crazy the
he was a
bookings
good-
they'd have?
Take
They'd
us
have
to
you,
the
then
zoo.
Cat Williams, then fucking like the bookings of those clubs were like so. Now everything's just one thing. Like no one's like like the club's either urban.
Not
or
this
it's not.
festival. There's a lot of diversity here.
Not like this.
Not like this.
Well, not anymore. Diversity just busted his lips.
Dan and I are slightly different deep voiced tall white men.
One's Jewish, one's believes in Jesus Christ, the Lord and Savior, and the first party animal.
Oh man, if you believe in God, do I have a comedian for you?
That is the funniest sales pitch. An agent just being like, "Do you believe in our Lord and Savior?"
That's the guys like in the mall parlor. Do you believe in God? I do. Well, get ready to laugh.
Also,
That's John Chris.
also a great way to say you don't like his set is you just go, I'm atheist.
Yeah.
Remember those people when you're starting out? I mean, look, we were a lot of those people handing out the flyers. But I remember Broadway Comedy Club in New York was the best one because they would just get people into like, we got Tina Fey tonight. They would just lie. Like, Tina Fey doesn't even do comedy.
One time,
but
Big
people would
Jay
show up
and
and
I-
they're like, we were told Tina Fey was going to be here.
I would do that at the
The
Boston.
Dalai
I do
Lama,
that at the
Grimace
Boston all
from
the time.
McDonald's were going to be here tonight. I'm a little disappointed.
Best comics in the club work. I could do my spiel right now. Best comics in the club work here. Jay Moore, Dave Chappelle, Jim Brewer. And they're like, whoa. And none of them were going to be there.
Jay,
They work there. These people flat out will tell you they're going to be there tonight when you go.
Yeah.
they sold tickets. I saw one time someone show up to stand up New York and they go, we got sold tickets. The Dane Cook was here. This was like 07. You're like, no way is he here. Dude, Jay, you got to tell him the Laugh Factory story in Times Square when you're walking up and you're like, when you kept pointing to your cell phone, the guy.
Yeah, well, they go, what it was, they just hired the Times Square Arts Center, I think it turned to at that point. It was the Laugh Factory for a minute in New York. But they just had a street team of straight thugs. And it was thugs pitching to other thugs. So I'd watch them go out there like this. So they go like, yo, man, you like comedy? And I'm like, I don't know. Is it hilarious? and it was like, yeah. And the audience was just like that. Like it was the people there. And so I was walking by at one time. I think I goes, yo, man, live stand-up comedy. He goes, we got so-and-so tonight, so-and-so. And he goes, and Dean Edwards. And he was stuck on Dean, and he goes, Dean Edwards. And I go, I see his sheet has me on it. And I go, oh, how about Big Jay Oakerson? And he goes, nah, man, I'm telling you, he goes, Dean Edwards is the dude, man. He goes, this dude was on SNL, Def Jam, blah, blah. I go, no, he seems great. But I go, how about like Big Jay? And he goes, and then I point down. Now I'm giving him the out to be like, all right, stop saying, forget about that guy. And it's like, see that I'm pointing at myself. I go, how about him, man? He goes, dude, he sucks. He goes, Dean Edwards is where you want to be. And I was like, that's me, man. And he goes, oh, shit, sorry, Big Jay. He goes, it ain't like that, man. I just go, what's it like? And I just walked away so hurt.
It was Dean
And I went
Edwards.
upstairs. That was such a bad club. I went upstairs and told the manager, I was like, yo, the street team's out there like deterring. Dean, by the way, wasn't on the show that night.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm on this show. This guy's deterring people from me on the show. And he was like, that was his reaction. He was like, man, dude, these guys are
You know what I did with Joe Coy one time? Joe had never done this, is I used to call clubs to see how they sold me. So I'd be like, hey, who do you guys have this weekend? And then never said my name right. So one time, Joe and Coy and I are both playing Oxnard at the same weekend after he's first weekend after New Year's. I'm New Year's. So and we're on Joe's show, and I go, yeah, let's see how they. You don't do this? And he's like, no. So we call Oxnard. I say, hey, I'm new to comedy. What do you guys got coming up? And she goes, Joe Coy. Joe Coy is fucking phenomenal. I go, oh, is he New Year's Eve? They're like, no, we wish he was. They're like, the guy we got, we don't know that guy. We don't think he's that good. And Joe's dying laughing. And I go, well, what other? She goes, Joe Coy's the only name you need to know in comedy. And Joe's listening to this. He's like, I should have been doing this my whole career.
I don't have the constitution to do that to myself. Good on you.
I can't hear.
Yeah, I don't want
exactly like.
I used to call the Columbus Funny Bone when I was there, and the lady Laura used to work the phones, and I'd be like, yo, baby girl, what's up? Who's playing this weekend? She'd be like, Chad Danzy. Go, he a white boy? He sound like a white boy. And then she'd be like, yeah, but he's got some stuff that maybe crosses over. She's trying to sell me.
That's great. No, he goes urban. A couple drinks, he goes real urban.
Well, I mean, he says the N-word. I don't know if that's considered going urban, but
I went up to I would go up to the ticket booth, like in the afternoon in Arizona, and walk up and stand up live and be like, so who's up this weekend? And it would be me. And she'd be like, we don't know. They tell us day of, and I'm like, that's not accurate.
I still don't have enough self-esteem to like walk to the front of the line at the club on the weekend that I'm working. Like I still kind of like blend in with the people. Like, you mind
You're in line for your own show.
can I sneak by? Well, I look like every fucking dude that's going to the show, and so I can't be like walking up because they're like, hold on a second, where's your tickets? I kind of merge. I'm like, I'm the guy doing the thing. Like,
I get
don't
ID'd.
have-
I get ID'd more than any other comedian. I bet you. Like as I'm walking in, they're like, "ID, please." I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Well, we're stamped out at this point. We're the guy. I remember at a festival where I was too new to know that people were just getting autographs just to sell whatever. Like, you look like you might die soon, so get 20 of him. And I'm just like, oh shit, you must have been on side. And then I go halfway through, it's like not even me. It was another comic, and I'm just like, I'll fucking sign it anyway. I'll ruin this picture. But like, I didn't realize they just didn't care and were just collecting the signatures. Anybody there?
We got surfing tomorrow. We got Bobby Lee's rehabilitation today.
Can we boogie board?
Yeah, we can boogie board.
Is that a choice?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Boogie. You can boogie.
Are there gators in this water?
You surfing, Dan?
All right, good.
No.
I was born in the ocean. Jay.
Sharks.
Doggy soda?
I'm gonna show you how I rip. Just make sure you can see where the waves are coming in.
Rip Curl Dan?
You gonna
I'll be there.
you gonna shred the gnar, bro?
Dude, I shred nasty nar. I'm gonna be boogie boarding with Jay.
Yeah, dude. We'll fucking hit some crunchy waves.
Boogie boarding's fun as fuck.
Yeah, boogie boarding. Have your whole body in the water when the sharks come. Good idea.
It is better.
And then I think we lose Jelly tonight. I think he's flying out tonight for Father's Day.
Oh hell yeah.
He's leaving after the show.
I think so.
Okay, I'll sing his songs tomorrow night.
Yeah, throw a couple face tattoos on me. I'll do it.
I think we have to lose. I'm thinking about getting a face tattoo.
No,
State of Florida right here.
no,
I got talked out of it last year.
Really?
absolutely not.
Why?
I was gonna do the skanks X right there.
No, against both your stupid ideas. No, it's a bad idea. Don't get face tattoos.
Kyle, would you
What?
get a face
I
tattoo?
got a lot of dumb shit going on, man.
Bert,
I don't think I need the face.
Don't.
Ask Jay. Jay already went neck.
Florida, coming down. I got neck because they talked me out of face.
Really?
But I was gonna do the X right there. It'd be pretty cool.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
Be pretty cool.
It'd
Wouldn't
be
it?
really cool.
Tiny.
You know what though? An X on your face is a reason for people to punch you.
True.
You know that, right?
You'd have to be really close. You'd have to go. Oh,
But like
My
face
shut off
tattoo,
valve.
like people that work at the mall have face tattoos. Like it means nothing. Like you could, like there's somebody with a face tattoo where you can say, I want to speak to your manager right now. It doesn't mean anything.
for sure.
anymore.
I still. It's weird. I wanted it, and I still judge it. Like if I see someone with a face
Yeah.
tattoo, I'm like, this
It
is
also
gonna be good.
it
I
also
saw a
means you have to
pharmacist-
work at
I
the
saw-
mall.
You also can. I saw a pharmacist with a face tattoo, and I was like furious. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Dude, that just means that means those drugs work.
No, that means I'm counting my pills when I get home.
Yeah. You go, are you dipping in? And they go, yeah. Why do you think I work here? It's like working at the fucking chocolate factory.
Or they know they got the face that they got to be the best, like the cleanest pharmacist ever. Like I already got the face tattoo.
I
So
get
yeah,
my
check
taste.
the records. I'm coming. I'm
get my
coming in clean.
taste.
Little like nice thin lines right here.
Just because it curves along the eye.
Yeah. And
socket.
then get the Florida Keys underneath my eye.
yes.
Bro, you can't lose 45 pounds and then get a face tattoo. You're on a good pace right now.
Why don't you shave your beard?
Chile? And then
No, I start doing the whole Caribbean down my face.
South America there. Oh shit.
All right, let's go do something else.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.